Alrighty guys, I've been so busy giving presentations, doing other press duties that I haven't even walked through the gear in the Popori room where I've been doing some dedicated demos showcasing the Bacch and obviously the sale model speakers, hyper sale that are coming to my house. But wanted to feature some of the other amazing gear in here, including the racks. And I have Tate here who actually designed these racks, based in Houston, a friend of mine. And first of all, hyper sale, Popori, been talking about this a whole lot. This is coming to my house. These are technically a prototype, but they don't sound like a prototype. They are just excelling in every measure, with and without subs. Friday we ran them without subs to showcase just the speaker. Rel is a great room partner. They've provided us with carbon specials to showcase. A lot of people at this price point are going to be having subs already, showing how this with the Bacch can integrate them. And many people are always asking, is the sub on or off when we're using the subs, because they integrate so perfectly, you can't locate them. And obviously they're great subs by Rel. We also have the amazing VAC amps, which is the second time we've used Poporis with VAC, showcasing not only how great the VACs are with the Poporis. VACs on their own really are universal for almost any speaker, and they don't have the typical tube trade-offs. These are providing bass when we don't run the Rel subs. That is, again, impressing almost everybody that comes in. 100 watts per channel monoblocks, as well as their preamp that we can run in and out. There's also a home theater bypass mode. Excels, totally transparent. And also we have the Angela Gilbert Young, which have already taken a few orders this show. This power conditioner is the AGY edition. I have a special video if you want to look it up on my channel where we talk about what's inside. Looks beautiful, but you really want to get it for the tethered power cord. The hardwired power cord makes a big difference, as well as those outlets, the Hubble outlets I've been featuring in other videos. Look that up. Don't overlook that. Some of the audiophile stuff is good, but you don't have to pay that price for just as good, if not better, outlet. And then, last but not least, we're going to talk about the Bacch. I have tons of videos on that. I'll share that in a future video, but the racks are what are amazing, and I'll bring Tate in. He's in the room here. He can talk about the designs of these. These are basically acrylic, right?
Yes.
And it's ultrasonic, and your website is what?
Custom Isolation Products. So my company is Custom Isolation Products. Came out in about 2000. Started building ultrasonic racks with acrylic shelving. We have a dampening between the shelving and the legs, solid aluminum legs. We've got stainless steel point the spikes, and what interphases into the next rack is actually stainless steel also. So it transfers into stainless steel and helps with least resistance, vibration, control.
They're built like a tank. These last forever. They've been used at 3MA forever.
Yes.
You're kind of a partner with them.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is you can anodize this to whatever you want. And then also the acrylic can be the clear, the black. And also you often have LED lights that showcase the clear, pretty cool.
Right. And we also can laminate it with different colors, and it's kind of a custom request.
Right.
Yeah, we can do different.
And speaking of custom requests, not too long ago, I kind of don't talk about this on the channel, but I build my own servers. Not that there's anything wrong with the audiophile servers, but they're all crammed a lot of gear and a lot of parts and a lot of heat into a small chassis, and most of them don't even have fans or any way to dissipate that heat fast. So I felt like for performance purposes, when it comes to processors, RAM, even capacitors in their life, you need to have control of the heat in those kind of products. And I wanted to make my own version of my server that was very powerful. I didn't have to skimp on the processor like often you have to do when you cram it in and you have to worry about heat. I wanted to be able to use the most powerful processors, the fastest RAM, everything. And I wanted it to look cool, like anything else. So I partnered with Tate on a custom, and I like his pillars here, but at the time I thought that it might be a cool idea to do outriggers instead of in. And so if we pivot around, this is my server. I have featured it on the channel before, but this is my home-built server. I did it under a brand name called Apex Designs, which is now what I'm using for my hat line. But this was a custom-built server that I made for myself, and these are with the outriggers of Tate which I think look beautiful, and these are even thicker than over there. And just everything about it. And then it provides a shelf where you can put your monitor. Some people have put analog tape machines. It's just a beautiful shelf on its own. But this is a pyramid design, a fan in there that actually runs basically idle, so you don't hear it. But it does ramp up, constantly monitors the temperature on the critical components, and will ramp it up if necessary to always keep the processor and everything inside at acceptable temperatures. And to me, this ensures reliability and the best performance from your server. So again, I do this on a custom basis. I may be, because so many people have been asking about the show, maybe doing this again. I've got some really custom builds I'll show in the future, but big part of the tag team here was with Tate and this rack, because I think it looks beautiful and cool. Roughly this one goes for around 15,000. But everything I do is custom made, and I'll have more details in the future. Thanks again to Tate. And what else? Oh, the Viablue cables is the other thing I wanted to make sure you can't see here, but you do know about. The custom Viablue cables are all back here. The lighting is not that clear. Actually, Popori is going to be in the final production model using Viablue terminals on their speakers. They were so impressed by the samples that Anka sent them. And then also we have the cable elevators as well. I think they might have already been put away or sold.
Yes.
But I've seen they've been in other rooms here at the show. So I think that covers everything in the room. Hope you guys on the last day can come out. If not, stay tuned for a lot more content on all these pieces. One other thing I almost forgot, I did forget, the ASC tube traps. These are like a staple because they kind of just meld in. I totally forgot. These are my preferred treatment, and I'm actually using them in my Airbnb. Some of the things that they make aren't just outside tube traps. They also make stuff between the drywall, and I'm going to be showcasing that in a future video in my Airbnb. But these are very effective, and we can show with measurements how they are effective, and how the Bacch with ASC is I don't know how anybody gets best sound without it, because you can now place these perfectly and see the results with the Bacch measurements in your ear and these and how effective they are. So definitely want to give a shout out to ASC.